Hey. Carrie's drinking all the water. I love it.
For me. Girl, yes.
Oh man.
What's up, y'all? Happy Friday.
What's up, y'all? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Oh my God.
How you doing?
Yes, I can see you, Carrie. What's up, everybody?
What is going on?
If y'all only knew the level of acrobatics that we do every week just to be on this show with y'all.
Oh, Lord.
I need the world to appreciate and understand.
Appreciate.
Facts. Wow.
Facts.
Oh, Lord. How are y'all doing?
Good.
Good now, right?
Y'all gonna have to excuse us today because listen, guys, it's been a week.
Mm-hmm.
But we are celebrating our sister today because it's her birthday as of yesterday. Y'all, please give it up for our sister in power. I always say
Exactly.
We carry joy, honey.
Thank
Happy
you.
Birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Tell the people where you are, girl. Tell the people where you are.
And how you doing?
I'm feeling good. I'm a little tipsy. I had some Long Island iced teas recently. and it was good. I am in Accra, Ghana.
Yes.
And just so happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like I woke up this morning and I was like, wow, I'm in Africa.
Right.
Like, what? Whose life
Carrie
is this?
Is a hilarious Carrie, I'm saying.
You in Africa.
It's everything. I mean, we here.
Yes. In the motherland.
The motherland, baby. Nah, I'm grateful. I'm blessed. I feel really good. And yes, I'm a little faded.
She's lit.
If y'all get a chance to look at Carrie's Instagram, she posted some clips living it up yesterday for your birthday in Africa. Girl, we are so jealous and proud at the same time, you know.
I wish y'all were here. David.
I know.
But big ups to Kristen Adele Calhoun, who was on the SIP some time ago, actually. And has been so accommodating. She's been living out here for a couple of years and it's been just helping me figure out how to be here and where to go and what to do. And so it's dope. It's dope to reconnect and like I'm just happy.
Yes.
Girl, you are living the dream and living your best life.
Exactly. What's up, Charlie? Charlie said happy birthday, Carrie.
Thank you, Charlie.
Yes. We love you, Charlie.
Oh, thank you, LJ. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much. It's so good to be here. How y'all feeling?
Girl, let me just tell y'all, it's been a hell of a week. I'm not even going to sit here and sugarcoat it because we keep it real here at the SIP.
Okay.
Tired, all kind of, those weeks where everything that could go wrong just kind of goes wrong.
Yep.
And then you got to come up out your pocket to spend money for stuff that you're like, I wasn't planning on buying 4 new tires for my SUV today.
Right. Jesus, fix it.
But here we are.
Fix it.
Which is why I'm having a margarita, okay?
Okay, Rita.
Come on, margarita.
Okay, Rita.
Yes.
Cayman Jack, holla at your girl, okay?
I'm about to have one when I meet up with you, Nick. I'm about to have me a drink. I need it for this week, Lord Jesus.
Girl, I'm about to get tipsy. You're going to get tipsy later, okay?
Right.
Yes.
Charlie said this week has been lemony snickets. Girl, if you don't say that. Okay.
It's lemony snickets for me, sis.
Not the lemony snickets. That is hilarious.
That was funny. How about you, Raj?
I am good. I'm insane. That's where I am. Like life is just it's awesome. It's busy, but it's insanity right now. But I'm happy to be here with y'all and I'm happy to get me a little dose of Black girl magic for the next hour or so. So, I'll be all right after this.
Same. I'm so happy to be here. LJ said this week has been super ghetto, and I give it no stars.
0 out of 10. So
okay.
No, that was hilarious. 0 stars.
I got up and got dressed today. That's it. Everything else, it is what it is. So.
Period.
And I wanted to say my sister in power this week is also Miss Carrie Joy. I made a whole post about you on Instagram. Listen, the world is not even ready for your fabulousness. I cannot wait to see, how amazing your life becomes. I feel like you've already done so much. And I'm just so proud of you and excited for you. And listen, I'm glad you were born. I hope you can hear me right now because you look frozen, but that's okay though. We wishing you a happy birthday anyway. Honey. Ryan popped on and said happy birthday, BG. So, we celebrating you now, forever, all week long. Can't wait till you get back and we can celebrate with you some more. But yeah, you are sister in power for the week, sis.
You are. Ooh, she frozen like a mug.
She's frozen. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. If you haven't already, definitely check out our Instagram, at the @the_sip_podcast. Thank you so much to our Patreon subscribers and also our YouTube. Y'all, please subscribe to our YouTube channel because we have so many videos that we post there, a lot of times from events that we've done. And if you get a chance, you might find some special videos coming up sometime soon. So subscribe, okay? Support the movement. Thank you.
Yes, I love it. And we did just want to, before we get started with the show, we did just want to do a little housekeeping really quick. We do want to let y'all know that we will be taking a break. This will be our final episode of 2021, guys. I know. But we need a break and we want to come back strong for season 3. We have been going nonstop for the last 57 episodes. So we're going to take a little break. We're going to recalibrate. We're going to plan hard for 2022. But as Raj told you guys, you can go check out all old episodes. You can do all of that. Subscribe to our podcast on your platform of choice. Hey, and she's back.
Hey, Carrie.
And be sure to check out our YouTube videos. I've been seeing more folks have been subscribing to our channel. So just go check it out. You can watch all the old videos. If you have a favorite episode that you have, let us know. Shout us out at heygirl@thesippodcast.com. We appreciate y'all so much for the way that y'all have been riding with us for this past year. We just hit 4,500 downloads. I'm feeling very good about that.
4,500?
We are on our way to 5,000. We are on our way to 50,000 and more. We appreciate everybody who listens each week, whether you download it, whether you come on Facebook to watch it. We appreciate that you rock with us and that you share. It means so much to us. So thank you so much. Y'all enjoy the holiday break. We definitely will.
And that doesn't mean that you won't see us. We may be doing some stuff where we get together and we hang out and we post it on IG or something. But listen, we have been working hard, y'all. So, and we sure that you have too. But, celebrate the end of this year. Do something beautiful for yourselves. And come on, Charlie said, go on and get the 1 million downloads. Honey. Listen, yes, million. Okay. Coming up soon.
Thank you, Charlie. And thank you, LJ. You said that your YouTube is amazing and gets me through. Wow, that means a lot. Thank you so much. We just really appreciate y'all. And so let's get into the show. And listen, I know we're dealing with African Wi-Fi right now. We're across it's all good.
Right.
We're going to have an amazing show. We're excited to have our special guest in the building. And so what you sipping on? Because you already know what I'm sipping on.
I wish that I was sipping on a shot right now. Do you hear me? That's how I'm feeling. And I'm normally a bubbly girl, but I could do with a shot of hard liquor right now. That's how I'm feeling. But instead, I'm drinking an oat milk latte in my doggone cup because one day I'm gonna get drunk again on the sip. It ain't happening yet, but one day.
Honey. And I think Carrie, what you said you were sipping on some LIT, honey.
Oh, no, I had some. Right now I'm just hydrating. So I am drinking some H2O.
Yes, I love it. Well, I know you didn't probably hear us earlier, but you are definitely our sister in power for the week. Yes. We salute you. We love you so much.
I love y'all.
We love you. We want every good thing to happen and enjoy your amazing, amazing trip, sis.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're going to be doing the sip in Ghana soon. You know, Sheen?
Listen, ain't nothing to it but to do it, honey.
Yeah. Let's go.
So, we already listed our sister Empower for the day, guys. Y'all go to Instagram and show her some love. But we're going to get into these BANs. And I know each one of us have one. So who you got, Raj?
Okay, so my first one is just real cute. And then we'll get into the real BAN I wanted to talk about. But my first one is people who go on your Facebook page and your Facebook post or Instagram post with negative comments. I can't stand, like, I don't know how many times I've seen like my artist friends or myself, we'll post about a flyer or event we have going on. And people will be like, oh, I'm busy that day. Or, oh, I gotta go. I gotta be on a trip. I wish I could be there. So, da, 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 da. And I'm like, I don't need to know that. If you can't make it, then you just can't make it, sis. Or like people will post a hairstyle that they like or some, a dress that they like, whatever. And people will be like, well, that's not for me. Or I don't really like that. Ain't nobody ask you. Okay? Like, ain't nobody ask your opinion. Ain't nobody post for you. They posted for the people who gonna say positive shit. If you got some negative shit, please just leave it. Keep it to yourself. But it works my nerve every time when I see people post something, especially when you're friends with the person. If you know someone is having an event, shut up if you can't be there. Like, share the event, buy a ticket for somebody else, do whatever, support them, do any positive thing you can. But if you can't be there, keep it to yourself. Okay? And I'm done. Sorry, that was a little bit of a read. I think I got a little personal, but y'all know what I'm saying, and you know exactly who you are.
I do.
Anyway, my next BAN is Chrissy Teigen, the ultimate mean girl, y'all. Now we've been meaning to talk about this. I think we kind of talked about it a little bit on an episode when it first came out. But sis is in the news recently talking about how she has a new cookbook out. She's trying to reinvent herself after being so mean and rude and like literally harassing to people on the internets and on the interwebs. And she basically, her reasoning was, well, I'm 100 days sober now, and I understand the responsibility of my actions, and I've learned a lot from this experience, and I've apologized to all those people. Listen, whenever I get drunk, I don't become an instant asshole. I become very hilarious, and I'm probably asleep after drink number 3. But there's nothing in me that says I want to reach out to somebody and tell them to kill themselves because I disagree with something that they said on social media. So I think that Chrissy Teigen is a BAN. And I don't know how y'all feel, but I'm just so sick of the people who come on and apologize for bad behavior. How about you don't do the bad behavior? How about that you don't have to apologize for?
Listen, girl, I was so happy you sent this to our group chat.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been wanting to talk about her. Oh, Bratz doll face.
Bratz doll, sis. Bratz doll.
She irks my life. And people are like, oh, I love Chrissy. Oh, she's so real. She's so obnoxious. And I'm sorry. It's not an apology 6 months later or however many months later because you're now promoting your book. I would have believed you, sis, if you would have actually gone on the interview right after it happened.
Right.
I would have a little bit more care to give. Mm-hmm. About your apology. Like every time I see her face, I just instantly get sick to my stomach. I can't stand her. And John Legend seems like a decent,
like human. A cool dude.
Like
yeah.
A cool dude. It's very interesting that this is who you're with.
Listen, we can have a whole conversation about successful Black men marrying petty ass, mean ass, so-called ethnic exoticals looking, but that's a whole damn sick episode.
Honey, Kevin Hart. Let me show
Kevin Hart looking ass.
It's a lot. It's a lot of them. And I'm just always so confused. Like, are you just letting a lot of their personality and being a good human slide because you want arm candy? Because you can't tell me that there hasn't been a moment in y'all's dating that you didn't see the red flag of the mean girl and how she treats people.
Right. Now, I will say this on another. Well, Carrie, tell me what you think first before I say my thought. Carrie is leaning to the side. Do you hear me? Leaning.
Leaning. Listen, no, I was just gonna say that. I mean, I don't think.
Let me go on mute. Go ahead.
I was just listening. No, but I don't think that there's never a justification to like.
And we lost her. God dang it. Okay. Well, what Carrie said, I agree, sis. I agree. One day we're gonna get her back. Oh, there she goes.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes. You said there's never a justification for.
Oh, for like reaching out to someone and being like, you should kill yourself.
Never.
That's just
exactly
never. Like I've almost fought people for like saying that to other people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I don't know. And the timing, like you said, Mo, the timing of it just seems really opportunistic. Like there's nothing genuine about her apology at all.
And she was talking about how she lost endorsements. Of course you did. You should have lost them. And talking about how, about her new cookbook, which I was like, who cares? Like,
right.
Like just go. I would rather you do a campaign about cyberbullying or something like that. I would rather you not sell anything at all and come out and talk about how you can change your behavior or that kind of thing. But it always rings a little hollow when it's like, oh yeah, and please buy my cookbook or please buy my book or whatever.
Right.
Now, in fairness, I will say, because I didn't think about this, but Gabrielle Union has been very honest about the fact that she was a mean girl before. When she first got into the business, she's been very honest about her insecurities and why she did it and whatever. And she's definitely said that she's become a better person. I think that this is different for me because I feel like Gabrielle Union has done the work to try to be a different person. She didn't just come out the woodwork. She didn't just go into hiding for months and then come out the woodwork and say, oh, I'm an asshole. You know what I'm saying? So, but Chrissy, listen, you can be beautiful all day long. I was really riding for her when she and John were coming for Trump, and I felt like they were using their platform for good at the time. And then, of course, nothing dies on the internet, sis. Why in the world would you be threatening people and saying all this stuff and being an asshole in that way and think that people are not going to find out? Shame on you.
Period.
So.
Chrissy, I'd be like, Chrissy who?
Right.
She's such a non-factor.
Right.
I love that you brought this up because she's been problematic for a long time. So, girl, you a BAN. Okay.
Right. And women of color, stop being assholes and then trying to, apologize for it. If you're, or just women in general, stop being assholes to other women or to other people and then thinking, oh, I'm just petty. No. You want to be petty? Talk to your friends by yourself in your private sister chat. I don't know nothing about that, but I'm just saying. But when you start to trash people publicly and harass them directly, that's when you cross the line. So,
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Go ahead, sis.
Who you got, Carrie? Carrie's is good.
Listen, Carrie, right. Go ahead, Carrie.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
We hear you.
Okay.
Whenever Carrie gets drunk, it's like she gets less animated. She gets like real chill.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning right now. My VAN is any country that is charging motherfuckers to pay for a mandatory COVID test when they get here. Especially because most of these countries are getting these tests for free.
Right.
They are receiving them from the government without a cost. And then charging people $150 to do a mandatory test. And
like you can't bring a test and say, here's my negative, nothing.
No, here's the thing, right? I had to take a mandatory test before I even got on the plane. And then after I got on the plane and before I could leave the airport, I had to take another mandatory test for $150.
That's whack. That's whack.
And I'm like, and y'all know for a damn fact, y'all ain't paying shit for these for these tests, and I got to give you 150 of my dollars.
It's terrible. But you
it's
are
not
hilarious.
my fault COVID exists.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, well, hold up.
That's terrible, sis. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. I was just like, this is some bullshit.
Right.
Okay. However, it's a whole mess. Like, stop it. Stop the foolery. Stop it right now. But yeah, those are my BANs, especially because like I said, you know, like you literally get them for free. And so to just be making money off of a pandemic that none of us caused. Right. It ain't my fault. Right. You know what I'm saying? I just think that that's some bitch assery. So
it is. I thought you were going to say something different, but this is a good one too.
Right. I think she said the other thing last time, but yes, you know, I think too, it speaks to like income disparities because maybe perhaps people from America or people from Europe might be able to swing something like that. But what if you're traveling in between countries and you don't have a lot of money, but you just need to see your family because you haven't seen them for a while? And here comes a country, you know, charging a tax, basically a travel tax, just to get you before you even get out of the airport. I think that's criminal. That's criminal.
That's terrible. And will you have to get any more while you're there?
You have to do it on the way back?
Can you hear me, sis?
Okay, so I don't know if she can hear us, but drunk Carrie is hilarious. Anyway, what's your BAN, Neek?
I'm going to be brief. You know, it's in line with kind of what we've been talking about, like negativity. What burns me up more than anything is when people project their negative views onto your children in your present. I had a situation this week at the mall. I took my kids to the mall for school. They needed like winter clothes. And then there was a play area in this mall that finally opened back up. And the kids were like, can we play in the play area? And I was like, sure. I got a little snack before it. And they had their school uniforms on. And this white woman says, oh, do your kids go to the language school? And I wanted to be like, girl, don't you see them in the uniform? Why are you asking me that? Right. Yes. I was like, yes. So she asked the kids, oh, y'all like it? And so she's talking, y'all like it? What language are you in? And they're like, you know, the Chinese program. Oh my God, y'all can speak Chinese. That's what they do at a language school. Duh. Ma'am. So she's like, oh, my daughter went to the global school, which is like $20,000 a year. She's like, my daughter went to the global school, but I've heard great things about your school, blah, 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 blah. Right. And then and I'm sitting there like, okay, girl. So she's like, she's in the store. She's going to come right out. So she comes out. They go to Chinese school. Can you talk to them in Chinese? So the kids say hi to the girl says hi to Lila Miles, and she's, you know, they're talking back, and she's like, oh my God, they can speak Chinese. And I'm like, they go to a Chinese school.
I wish Lila would be like, I don't give a damn about you in Chinese, but I know that ain't right. That's just shady auntie talking.
But you know my baby got shade because she got an honest from her mama. So she's standing there like, but then the woman is like, well, my daughter now goes to, you know, DSA, and, you know, where are your kids going to go to high school? And I was like, you know, we're thinking about DSA. Well, it's really hard to get into. Like, nobody can get into it. And I was just so annoyed. And this happens sometimes where I feel like a lot of times white folks don't expect you to be cultured. They don't expect that you know anything. They think you're ignorant. Like, ask you questions that be so stupid. Like, you're talking to me as if I'm a dummy and I don't know basic ass things. Right. And she was just very condescending. And it's just like, there was so much she said in that time. And so, you know, me and the way my patty is set up, so I'm talking to her daughter and I say, well, what do you want to do for college? Because she's a senior. She's like, I want to be an actress. I'm going to move to LA and I'm going to, you know, go to school. And her mom's like, well, here's what I want her to do. I want her to go to school to learn how to take care of her face. And I swear to God.
Take care of her what?
I swear to God, I'm not making this up. And
Her
learn
face?
how to take care of her face, her skin. She needs to go to esthetician school so that she can learn how to take care of her skin and go to a nutritionist so she doesn't gain weight. Because being like she's saying all this stuff, and the girl is sitting there looking at me like, "Girl, rescue me from my mama."
I am embarrassed for the child.
Honey, because my name is Monique Brooks Roberts, I said, really? You want her to go to school for that? Like, that's what you're supposed to be teaching her. I didn't say that. I said, that's what I'm teaching my daughter now at 9 years old, is how to wash her face.
Sis, and take showers, but let's not go there.
Ma'am, if you are not teaching and have not taught over the course of your 17-year-old daughter's life how to clean and properly moisturize and properly wash and to eat the correct way, you are failing. And the fact that you want to pay money for her to go to a college to learn what your ass should have been teaching her for the last 17 years because you don't want your daughter to be an actress.
Sis, okay.
And I said, I already teach my daughter that now. And she's like, well, I disagree. She needs to go to esthetician school. And the daughter was like, Mom, it's my life. I can do what I want. And I was like, am I really in the middle of this right now? Like at the mall, like after school? I was just trying to buy my kids some clothes, ma'am. But it was just the argument for me, but also just all the little petty, condescending comments that sometimes I have to deal from white people. I have had white women say to me, I'm so happy you named your kids names that we can pronounce. Oh, yeah.
Excuse?
Mm-hmm. Oh, what's her name? Oh, thank you for naming her a name that we can pronounce. Those are my BANs. My BANs are people, specifically those of the lack of melanin.
The Caucasian complexion.
Right, that love to project whatever it is onto you and say really kind of harmful things in the presence of my children. So of course I got in the car, being the Black mama that I am. I told my children, nobody can tell you whether you're going to get into a school. Nobody can tell you anything. You are beautiful. God made you the way you are. And if you want to go to DSA, you're going to get in DSA. And don't let nobody tell you any differently. And they're like, okay, Mommy. Because when people start doing that negative stuff around my children, it's my job as the mom to then swoop in and say, no, don't listen to them, guys. You can do whatever you want to do. I just don't like that. I would never say that around somebody's kid about, oh, well, I don't think they're going to be able to do that.
Like, what? Just because, and I love that you said, though, it's the projection, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's their insecurities and their fears. And I'm just like, well, first of all, can somebody please give that woman some Ritalin or some shit? Like, I don't know. Like, that's a lot of unnecessary energy.
Listen, I said this, I was like, she needs a Valium.
I need you to calm the fuck down.
I was like, she needs a Valium. She was just all over the place and very negative. And I was like, and then I saw the silent prayer for her daughter. Cause I was like, this is her mom, And part of this was like me being upset about her, but part of it was like the girl being like, wow, this woman is taking up for me.
Yeah.
This woman is taking up for me. So maybe she took a little bit of what I said and now she will be encouraged along her journey. Like, I remember that woman in the mall who was checking my mama, about me going to this school versus this school.
It only takes one. It only takes one person to ignite that fire and to remind you that, you know what I'm saying? So good on you, Monique Brooks Roberts, for standing up for yourself, for your child, and for homegirl. Like, but I need her mother to she has some deep issues that she needs to figure the fuck out.
She does.
And stop projecting onto her child.
Absolutely. That's exactly what she's doing.
Jesus, fix it.
But yes, guys.
The BANs are strong today.
And I know we had way more because we haven't been here for a week.
Right.
But Raj's connection dropped and she had to restart her laptop.
The devil is alive.
Guys, we're so sorry for the technical difficulties on today. Sometimes it just be like that. It just happens.
It just be like that.
But I do want to go ahead and introduce our guests just for time's sake. And when Raj comes in, Raj will say how she knows Georgia and all these things. But we are so thrilled to welcome visual artist Georgia Tardy to the space. Oh, here she comes. For time's sake, and when Raj comes in, Raj will
What in the world is going on with the interweb today? I swear to God, like, y'all don't even understand. All of a sudden, I had like the spinning wheel of death. It was like a rainbow, and I had to literally. Oh my God! I'm sorry, y'all.
It's all good. It is all good, sis. We were just about to introduce Georgia, but now that you're back, we'll let you introduce her.
And listen, I am so excited to introduce this woman because y'all don't even know. This woman is, aside from my besties on this show right now, this woman is the closest thing to a sister that I've ever had. And I love her deeply. We grew up together. So I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But first, I'd like to read her professional bio. So born in Kalamazoo, Michigan, to a family of artists, Georgia spent much of her young life involved in art programs and summer camp, including those offered by the Kalamazoo Institute of Art. Yes, she is from Kalamazoo, honey. Okay, but anyway, and received continual inspiration from her mother and grandmother. In 1999, she moved to Grand Rapids, Michigan to attend the distinguished Kendall College of Art and Design, where she earned her BFA and made a name for herself with her sketches, painting, and uncanny ability to capture the essence of a moment in the photo. Her art came to embody the vision articulated by artist and painter Jeffrey Smart, who stated, "It's not a matter of painting life, it's a matter of giving life to painting." Soon after her graduation, her ability and passion captured the attention of world-renowned artist Paul Collins, whom she interned with. Soon after that, she held her first solo exhibition, Salon 477. And after successful shows, the desire to help others discover their creative abilities was unearthed. She's held instructor positions at Kendall College of Art and Design, West Michigan Center for Arts and Technology, and the Urban Institute for Contemporary Arts, teaching fine art and graphic designs. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Georgia Tardy. Hey. What's up, girl? I have more questions for you, and I have more of your bio that I want to talk about, but I wanted to get you on because we've had you delayed for so long, so thank you so much.
Thank y'all for having me. It was no delay at all. I have enjoyed every moment of listening to y'all, and let me just say this first. Carrie, whatever is happening, please bottle it up, send it to Raleigh, North Carolina, because a sister needs some of that.
I got you.
Thank
they said
you.
Nothing but a word. Yes.
Carrie is living her best birthday life right now, and we are here for it.
I am not mad at all.
But I wanted to let everybody know. So, you know, you and I actually, I've known you since, I don't know, we were about 9 or 10 or 11 years old, something like that.
Man, elementary.
Exactly. We grew up together in Kalamazoo, Michigan. For a certain time, our mothers were friends. They lived together. And so we actually lived together as kids.
We did.
I grew up with her and Chaz and her brothers. And it was just, you know, it's been amazing to watch your life and to know you as a kid and the dreams that we talked about, but then to
oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, amazing. You too, sis. This is crazy.
Right. It's like, did we ever think we would make it this far? My God.
But... No.
Well, before I get into this interview with you, Carrie has a question of the day. So welcome to the Sip, and let's see what you say about this question here. Go ahead, Carrie.
I'm so unprepared.
I know, right?
You don't know it either.
Right.
Oh God. Okay.
Is it my time?
Yeah, Carrie, go ahead, sis.
Is it my time?
Your turn.
I need a sip. Okay. I got a sip. Oh God.
Yes, take a sip. Go ahead, take a sip. You got a sip. Oh no, this one is actually it's really simple.
Okay.
This one is really simple. So if you had to pick between an ocean, a mountain, lake, or a city, where would you want to spend like the rest of your life? If you had to pick between those four types of escapes.
Ocean. 100%.
This is going to be an interesting one for me, but I would have to say a lake. I have always wanted to have a house by the lake. Like I love my house, but in Michigan, you know, my family has a house by the lake, and I would give anything to wake up and see that every day. So yeah.
For me, it's definitely ocean. I have had a dream to have a house on the ocean. Walk right out my backyard, right onto the beach.
Yeah.
What about you, Carrie?
Word. What did you say, Rash?
I said lake.
Okay, lake. okay. That's that Midwest. That Midwest city, you know what I'm saying?
I'd love a dock and a boat and like trees and the rock, the gravel, you know, pathway, all that. Now I would love to just dig into who you are, Georgia. So who can you tell us who is Georgia Tardy in this moment?
Oh, wow. That is a great question. In this moment, I always begin first with I am an artist. I am a child of the Most High, number one. But I am an artist, and that encompasses so many things. You know, I am a painter. I am a portraitist. I'm a graphic designer, all different forms of art. So I say that just to be specific about the types of art that I create, but I am an artist. I like to call myself a conduit of creativity.
Oh, yes.
And that is what I do. You know, I let the creative flow come through me, and however it comes out, whether in a painting or a drawing or design, that's how it comes out. So I just like to be that, or I try to keep myself open to be that conduit of creativity. So that is who I say I am.
I love that, a conduit of creativity, because it opens you up to so many things. You're just receiving whatever version of art comes through you at the time. I love that.
Exactly, because it could come out as, I mean, who knows? It could be wearable art. It could be apparel. It could be, you know, a mural. It could be a small piece, but however that needs to be expressed to the world, I like to keep myself open to that.
So now you're from our hometown of Kalamazoo, Michigan. Michigan, stand up, anybody who is listening from Michigan. I always tell people I'll travel around the world, but I'm forever going to be a Midwest girl. So
always.
But tell me, how did you end up in Raleigh, North Carolina? How did a Michigan girl end up in Raleigh?
Well, you know, a child got married, you know. First and foremost, I got married, and my husband's younger brother lives in North Carolina. And my husband, Reggie, and I had planned to move. We wanted to relocate. And his brother, Eric, was here in Raleigh with his family. And we said, well, you know, the weather, this Michigan weather, though.
Right.
We had to go ahead and get on up out of there. The snow, it's beautiful, but like 6 months of winter and me don't go together. So we chose, that's how we came to Raleigh, is because we have family here.
Awesome. I love that. How long have you been an artist? Like, when did you know this is what you wanted to do full time?
I love this question because I don't take for granted the fact that I've always known. I've always known since childhood that I am an artist and I wanted to pursue the arts, you know, for my life. My earliest memory of creating was about 8 years old. I was in like the 3rd grade. And it was just a drawing, a simple drawing. You know, you bring something home and your family goes crazy. But now looking back, I realized that I was a kid and they were just trying to do that to make me feel good, you know, but.
Oh, you used to have some cool drawings. I remember you used to do some cool stuff.
You know, but that did something to me at that young age. That really did something to me. And I because I remember it. I remember it distinctly, the reaction that I got. So that was my first memory of creating. And ever since then, I've always known, and I never take that for granted because I've never wondered What am I going to do? What do I want to be? What is my purpose or passion? I've always known.
Right. Then that's a blessing. That's a true blessing, because I know
it really is.
Yeah, people might feel a certain way about their purpose, or some folks might want to try to find their purpose. But when you know it, and you know that it's what you've been born with, you kind of walk with a different kind of confidence, right?
You
think
do.
So?
I agree. You do walk with a different kind of confidence. And when you have to veer off of that path because you got to get, a job in another industry, because in order to just live, if you're not able to live off of your passion at that time, it anchors you. Knowing what you want to do, it anchors you when you have to do those things outside of what you want to do in order to be able to do what you want to do, if that makes sense.
It does. And you speaking a word into my life right now, because I feel like all day today I've done stuff that is not about my art, but it's for the sake of me being able to do my art. And I hadn't thought about your purpose as an anchor before. So I appreciate
that. Absolutely. And I think that, listen, I have had every job, from working in a movie theater to cleaning toilets, to corporate America, to I could go down the list. But I always tell people, first and foremost, never be ashamed to take care of yourself. Never be ashamed to take care of yourself and your household.
Right.
But that one, if you know what it is you are to do and that you desire to do, that's an anchor. And everything else outside of that is a means to an end. That's how I look at it.
Thank you. Because for anybody who's listening or who's out there who has to do double duty, right? You have to do something to pay the bills. I talk to my husband and I talk about this all the time, like the struggle of the grind. Our society makes it hard for us to do our passions. The society funnel is go do corporate America or something like that. So don't feel guilty. Just do what you got to do until you can do what you want to do.
That's it. Do what you got to do. Yeah. That's it. And there's so many preconceived notions about what pursuing your passion looks like. Right. There's no blueprint for this.
None.
There's nothing out here, especially for the artists that say, hey, if you want to be a singer, this is what you do. Nobody says this. So your path is your path.
Yeah.
And I feel strongly about that. And when I talk to people and I say, oh, I really don't feel like I'm an artist because I'm working. I'm like, listen, you are taking care of yourself.
Right. Now, let me ask you, on your site, you have a quote from artist and painter Jeffrey Smart, and you talk about it's not a matter of painting life. It's a matter of giving life to painting. How does that show up for you in the works that you've created? Because I'm looking behind you now and I see life in your art, but how did that truly inspire you?
That inspired me by years of finding my own voice in painting in my style, which it takes years to do that. As you all know, as vocalists and musicians, it takes time to find your style. I can mimic anybody. Right. I can make my work look like someone else or emulate someone else. And that's fine if you have, people you look up to and role models and mentors. But giving life to my own work is putting myself in the piece, is making it personal, telling my story of my life through my work. And that's what the giving life part is. What part of my story am I going to tell through this piece?
Yes. I completely agree with that. And you know, from what I've seen, you've elevated your work from wood to canvas to murals. You and I spoke recently about how the pandemic gave you an awesome opportunity to paint murals in your community. Can you kind of tell that story about how that project came about?
Yes, that was crazy. The pandemic hit, you know, everything shut down, as we all experienced in our various ways. And I've always admired muralists. You know, this is interesting now that I'm saying it out loud. Prior to the pandemic, I had few opportunities to do murals, but I always admired them. And I always wanted to make that a part of, you know, what I do, a part of my business. So anyways, the pandemic hit, the George Floyd situation happened in particular. The protests happened. And in Raleigh, like many other cities, the businesses boarded up all of their windows, you know, because it got crazy here too. So when the businesses boarded up their windows, all the artists like came out and created artwork on the boards. So, you know, we saw this in a lot of cities, but they did that here in Raleigh. And it was funny because it like popped up overnight. Like I went to sleep and everything was boarded up, and I woke up and there's like art everywhere.
Yes.
I'm like, hold on. Like, when did y'all do this? Where was I?
Right. And I didn't get the memo. Hold on.
I did not get the memo that we were doing this. So when I saw it, you know, I saw some artists painting, and I just asked them, I said, you know, hey, are we just doing this? And hopefully nothing happens? Or do y'all know the business owners? I just needed to know. Because like I was telling you, like if I'm about to get arrested, just let me know what I'm getting into. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. So the artists were cool. They happened to know the business owners. But anyway, I knew a couple of business owners downtown Raleigh. I reached out and they were like, go for it. You know, if you want to.
I was wondering that, like, how were the businesses? Because of course it's like there's accidental art when people are writing on these wood planks and stuff. But then when you start to translate that into a mural, did you have any issues with like making your art go from one size to another? Like you have your smaller paintings, but then how do you tackle a whole wall? Like how was that process?
Well, that's always tricky depending on the size of the wall, depending on the actual materials of the building. Every artist has a different process. You can use a traditional grid. There's a couple of different things you can do. You can project a mural. You can use what is known as a doodle grid. It just depends. There's a lot of different variables. It depends on the surface you're painting on. How much time you have is key. The weather, you know, whether you're doing this with permission or without permission, you know, there's a lot of variables. So how you get your work to scale depends on those variables, how much time you have and the materials that you're working with. But to answer your question, there are a couple different like grid methods that you can use to take it from a small piece to a larger piece.
Well, I commend you because I think it's one, you know, you have to have a certain amount of chutzpah to say, I'm going to go from this smaller art that I've been creating to now, you know, putting my essence basically on the side of a building or something like that. We have some artists here in Colorado who do dope mural work. So I'm always in awe of it. But Nick, you had a question, sis.
I do. So I always find the work of artists so intriguing because you guys are creating a visual. And like for me, it's like music. I could play a wedding. I can do this, but you're creating a visual that you want to be sold so you can, you know, sustain your life. What is the process of like getting your art into like a gallery? And is that like what like the full scope of like being an artist about like trying to get that gallery show? Like what's that process like? Have you been able to get in galleries? I'm very curious about that.
Yeah, that's a great question. And every artist will have a different answer because you can be a gallery artist, you can be a festival artist. So there's different paths. Some artists have no desire to be in a gallery, have gallery representation.
Right.
Some artists literally set up tours of festivals like a musician is on tour. You know, and you just go from city to, and it's no different from music. You have your whole schedule, you put it out there to your audience, and this is where I'm going to be when for this show and this festival. And that is how some artists, you know, structure their business. It depends on the artist. Personally, I'm not a gallery artist, just because the gallery experiences that I have, I'm open to it if it's the right situation. It definitely has to be the right situation and relationship, because number one, the gallery's commission is very high. Of course, they have to run their business. And then the relationship with the gallery owner to the artist. If you ever notice, you know, going in a gallery, depending on how the gallery is set up, you'll see a lot of artwork like stockpiled. I've seen this. And it's like, do I want my work collecting dust based on if this gallery owner likes me or not?
You know, I was going to ask you that, because it's like the emotional, when we make songs, we're not always there when someone is listening to them, right? We send them out into the world, and then people listen to them at their leisure, and they either respond to us or whatever. But I can imagine, and they feel like our babies to us. But I can imagine what it feels like to hand your baby to somebody and then watch them, you know, respond to it or not, and whatever that the emotions might be.
Exactly. It's the same exact thing. So you have to make that decision within yourself. You know, am I going to go the gallery route? Am I going to be a festival event artist, or am I going to solely live online? You have some artists that solely live online, and being in the, you know, technology age that we live in, you can do that.
Yeah.
You know, you can have so much independence. So it really depends on the avenue you want to go in. Do I want somebody to represent me and just put out work all the time? Or do I just want to, you know, kind of be my own representation? Every artist is different.
You know, I wanted to ask you about, I didn't mention this about your bio because I wanted to dig into it a little bit. So in 2012, you were selected as one of 9 artists to participate in the Hope Equals Artist Residency in Israel and Palestine. And I wanted to ask you, as a woman of color and as a female artist of color, how did it feel being and creating in that space? And also, what was it like in Israel and Palestine during that time?
Girl, first and foremost, it was hot. Let me tell you, it was hot. Listen, I was a heat that, man, it was hot. But outside of that,
I can imagine your painting. Like, it's like, how do you stop stuff from melting? And
oh my gosh, it was one of those pivotal life moments for sure. I went with a group of artists from various practices, poets, writers, musicians, visual artists. There were a lot of different types of art. We were able to connect with Israeli and Palestinian artists on both sides of the wall. So I was in the West Bank area and had the crazy opportunity to do work on the separation wall itself.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm getting chills talking about it because it's one of those pivotal life moments that you just
the wall between Israel and Palestine, that's where you, wow, that's awesome.
Some of the most beautiful artwork I've ever seen is on this wall. Murals. Huge murals. Artists from all over the world have come to create on this wall. So we were able to collaborate with some artists in Bethlehem, actually, and make some pieces on this wall. It was amazing. It really and truly was. I was just a sponge taking everything in. Yeah.
Do you feel like that's influenced your work in any way, or like, you know, was there anything there that like inspired you about that experience?
Definitely. I feel it influenced my work in the sense of my voice and your work. My work is not, how shall I say, it needs to say something. You know, it has to say something. Be clear about what your work says. No matter what it says, be clear about what it says. Because and that experience there, all the work there had a message. Nothing there was, oh, I'm painting this here because it's pretty, or I'm trying to beautify. Everything had a message.
Wow.
You know, that they were trying to convey. And that may have been the only voice they had. And so that's what I left with, that whatever it is, make sure your message is clear.
That's amazing. I you know, it's funny because I feel that way from a musician standpoint, from the songs that we create, but to think about how that translates visually is awesome. Now, what is your creation and preparation process look like? And I'm asking this in a side way because I want to know about this new studio I done seen on your Instagram. This has a whole art studio in her backyard, y'all.
A whole studio.
Tell us about this studio and also how it's improved your creative process, right?
Oh my gosh. Like I was telling you before, like I'm in it now and I just pinch myself because this is my first dedicated studio space, you know, outside of my home. You know, I've been in kitchens, bedrooms, corners, basements, wherever I could make it work. That a living room that I never put furniture in, that people looked at me crazy, but don't worry about what I'm doing right here. You know what I'm saying? This is my space. But so to go through all of that and for the first time have dedicated space where it's solely my work and creating, it's still surreal. It was just completed in July, so it's very new. My husband and I designed it from the ground up, you know, straight out the mud. It is a unique design that I promise you will never see anywhere else.
So you were telling me, so you guys, I know you guys have a house in Raleigh, in the city of Raleigh, but you have some acreage in the back of your house.
Yes.
And so you guys basically worked with an architect, right? To build a studio space in that backyard that Reggie has his spot, you have yours. But I mean, you had to meet with an architect and do all this stuff. Like, my God.
Oh my gosh. From concept to completion, we're talking, and keep in mind, COVID happened. All this happened. The whole quarantine happened. It was almost 2 years.
Wow.
That this project took place. So yes, we met with the architect, Jeremy Hawk out of Raleigh, who came up with a concept. And it was a blessing that the first concept he came up with, we just absolutely loved. We told him how we wanted the space to function. And that was our thing, right? This is what we want to do in the space. Anything else, like, we kind of let him go. We saw some of his work, obviously, around the city. And so we said, we want to see what he can come up with. And we took it from there. He came up with a dope concept that we loved. He knew of a builder who was local that would carry the vision out.
Right.
Because you can come up with this idea, but then you get a builder that's like, what in the I ain't never done this. I'm not doing this.
Right.
So we were able to connect with an awesome builder, Armature Design and Build, that's out of Raleigh, who just brought it all to life.
Wow. Well, if you get a chance to go on her Instagram, Georgia Tardy Art, she has videos of the studio space. And I just think it's so amazing because I think sometimes, we as artists, we don't get a chance to either have the funds or have the time and the energy to create our own creative space.
Right.
So to see you kind of be in your element and be able to do that, I think is beautiful.
And it is a blessing.
Right. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, what inspires you? Like, who are your artist inspirations? Who are the people that, just do it for you when it comes to creating?
Oh, man, there's a few. There's a handful of them. First and foremost, my artist mentor, Paul Collins, who is out of Grand Rapids, who took me under his wing in my mid-20s. And just gave me the opportunity to paint. I would not be a painter if it were not for Paul Collins.
Wow.
He created the opportunity for me to discover the ability to paint because he is a painter. And he's a very, very traditional. If you look him up, Paul Collins, I believe it's collinsfineart.com. Mm-hmm. Very traditional, realistic painter, very intimidating, 100% intimidating. And I know what I was doing, but he took me under his wing, and I became a part of his family. His wife Carol, I got to know his mother, his daughters, and I was his apprentice for about a year. Mm-hmm. And during that time, I had the opportunity to paint with him on projects. Mm-hmm. So I always, honor him in that sense, because if it weren't for him, I would not be painting. Yes. In terms of inspirations, people I love, I'm a fan of surrealism. Salvador Dali is one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. I love Romare Bearden from the Harlem Renaissance era. Yes. My work is heavily influenced from the Art Nouveau style. Mm-hmm. So any Art Nouveau artists, Alphonse Mucha, you'll see a lot of Art Nouveau references in my work. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple of artists that'll make me stop and just make me want to get my whole entire life together, like
right
when I see them.
Well, if I can go back, it's so funny looking at this, looking at your artwork. For those of you who are listening, we always try to show some videos and some Instagram clips of the person that you're listening to and their art. But I remember your mom drawing and doing watercolors. Your mom, a shout out to Angela Taylor.
Yeah, shout out to mom.
I remember her creating like collages and watercolors and things like that. And so every time I look at your multicolored, multimedia art, I think of her. And I think obviously you're the next generation, but it's just beautiful to see what you create based on, given who she was. Who would be your dream collaboration? Like if you could create a piece with somebody, who would you want to create with?
Gosh, that's a great question. I would want to create, this is going to be funny. Okay. So maybe a couple of years ago, I just discovered the art of the Ndebele tribe.
Okay.
In Africa.
Uh-huh.
Right. And first of all, this art has been around for generations. I'm just slow and just stumbled upon it. Right. And it just takes my breath away. And I told Reggie, I said, when I die, I need you to bury me with the Ndebele tribe in the painted houses in Africa because that is where I live.
Wow.
So a dream collaboration for me would be to go to this village where they paint these houses and just paint with the women. And it's the women of the tribe that are the painters. So I studied the tribe, and if you look up the style, it's very familiar. It's become commercial and very popular. But from what I've learned, the women of the tribe adorn their homes with these murals. They cover them, and there's different symbols in the murals that mean different things. Yeah. But they're these vibrant, bold colors. And what I've learned in my little Google research, so anybody who's listening, if it ain't right, my bad.
Don't come for me.
You know?
Don't come for me.
Right. So the women in the tribe who are not married, the elders teach them how to paint. The elder women teach them how to paint. And the better painter they are is a reflection of how good a wife they're going to be. And yeah, it's very interesting. So it's embedded in their culture. It's not just for adornment. It's embedded in their culture. And that would be a dream collaboration, just to go there, to paint, and just be among these women artists.
I love that. And now we've got to look that up. So maybe we'll try to put some comments in the comment section about those women, because that just sounds incredible. And also it sounds like such a rite of passage and such a heritage thing for them that's passed down to the generations. Yeah. Wow.
Absolutely. I have a wall in my house. I have like a little accent wall that I did in that particular style of the Debele tribe. So look it up when you have a minute.
Yes. Okay. So any words for any an aspiring artist? Like, what would you say to your younger self, or what would you say to any younger artist, visual artist especially, who's just coming up and trying to find their voice and all of that?
I would say, first of all, just relax. Relax into yourself. Just relax. We live in this world now where everything is instant. Everything has to happen. As artists, the creative process is exactly that. It's a process. Yeah. And you have to relax into it so you can find yourself. Otherwise, you will be so heavily influenced with everybody around you. So my advice would be to relax into your own creativity, get quiet, and find your voice. Wow. And that's what I would say. And it takes time. It just does. There's no way around it. It takes time to develop. So I would say relax, get quiet, know your voice, and stay the course, because it takes time.
I love that. Listen,
so good.
For as long as I've known you, Georgia, even in our crazy household when we grew up, you were the calming one. You were the one who never got ruffled. All of us would be like insane, whatever. And you'd be like, it's all right. It's all good. It's going to be what it's going to be. And I'd be like, how come you aren't mad right now? How come you aren't mad at our moms or something? And you'd be like, well, you know.
Right.
Thank you for this bomb. We needed this on a Friday.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
No, I love that, because I have been finding myself telling a lot of my students that recently about just about finding your own voice. And then just speaking about it from the artist's perspective, it's really just the same thing. It's the same.
It is.
It's the same life, it's no matter what you do, you have to just know that you are special.
Yes.
And then you have to cultivate that, and you have to actually know that. So it's beautiful hearing you say that. Yeah,
it really is the same, whether it's a painting, whether it's music, whether you are a culinary artist, a sculptor. it all comes from that same place. And that place has to be centered in who you are. You know, your expression, you know, varies in different art forms, but yeah, it just takes time, you know, and I know the younger generation struggle because all the insta everythings, you know, and it's a struggle. I know it is for them, you know, but just, it takes time.
Wow. Well, I thank you so much for being on here. And Carrie, we know you're watching. We're so sad that the connection wasn't, because we just love it when you're on and able to vibe with us. So y'all, she will be back the next time, and maybe we'll get her to pop on. I don't know what the connection is like at this point, but I have some rapid fire questions for you. Then I'm gonna let you go. Okay. But you got to get with it. So you got to tell us real quick what these are. Okay, right. Get your sip on.
Hold on. Okay.
They're not gonna be too hard. Okay, first one: coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Now see, I thought you would say tea. How about that?
I did too. I thought she was gonna say tea.
Coffee.
If you created art in a different medium, music, dance, something, what would it be?
I would be a dancer.
Now, see, and I know you can sing, so I just knew you was gonna say something about music. But okay,
I would be a dancer, because they so fit and like limber, and I like what?
Yeah,
dancer.
You're booking a flight to. What's up, Carrie? Okay, you're booking a flight to anywhere in the world. Where are you going, and who are you going with?
I am going to Salvador, Brazil, to go see all the beautiful brown people in Salvador, Brazil. And I would take Reggie because he is the best travel partner.
Girl, yes. Love it. The dude is too. I totally get that. Okay, and it's good that Carrie's here too, so we can break this down so it can forever be broken. Sweet or savory grits, sis? Which one?
I'll say that one more time.
Sweet or savory grits?
Oh, dang. Okay. Oh, can I say this though? Can I say one thing though?
Right, she's like, wait
a minute. Okay, so I'm from the Midwest. So I grew up sweet, right? But now I'm in North Carolina and they do savory. So I'm torn. I didn't have shrimp and grits until I came to North Carolina. And I'm like, what? Where
you would need then. It's both, right?
Oh, it's both. It's so both. Especially when they put the cheese in the grits.
Yes.
Oh, I struggle.
You put a little sugar in there with the cheese. Georgia, you got that? Put a little sugar in there with the cheese.
I'm saying. One word to describe how you're going to approach 2022.
Oh, girl, with resilience.
Yes.
Resilience.
Yes. I love that.
Absolutely.
If you could be any flavor of ice cream, what flavor would you be?
Why did butter pecan pop in my brain? I don't even know why. I have no reason. I have no reason. Butter pecan.
And who would you like to see do a versus, living or dead? Who would you like to see?
Versus. Oh, can anybody really go against Nina Simone?
No.
Can anybody?
Nobody.
I'm trying to think who would be
even in the same.
I mean, Nina Simone could really go against Nina Simone. Like she could do
early
Nina Simone, later like Nina Simone, and it'd be fine for me.
Okay, Layla Hathaway and Lettucey.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I could see that.
I could do that.
That'll be fun.
Why have we not seen that yet?
Exactly.
I'm surprised we haven't.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thank you for being on this show. But before we go, since Carrie is back, Carrie, lake, ocean, what is your answer for the question of the day?
Oh, girl, I was ocean all day.
Yes.
All day, baby. And I'm gonna learn how to. I'm gonna have me a farm. I'm gonna learn how to fish. I'm gonna be good. Listen. I'm gonna be off the grid for real, for real. Give me a few years. Y'all ain't going nowhere I'm at. Not y'all.
Right. Well, in that case, I thank you so much for being on, sis. Thank you for vibing with us. Thank you for being here. Carrie, we're so glad we got to see you come back, even just for a minute.
Yay, Carrie.
We will see you next time, y'all. Until then, we're having a break for now. But Nick, do you want to say anything as we close out?
Yes, just want to say we salute you, Georgia. You are our sister in power for the week.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. You guys, please check out her website, georgiatardyart.com, correct?
Yes.
Go follow her on Instagram. She has a shop up on her website where you can buy her art. It's beautiful, gorgeous art. So thank y'all so much for the support. Like Raj said, we said it in the beginning of the show, but we'll say it again. We've taken a little break for the rest of the year. But once again, check us out on YouTube. Look at all our old videos. Hit us up if you missed us. Drop us a line on Instagram or send us an email at heygirl@thesipodcast.com. Y'all have a beautiful holiday, however which way you celebrate it. And we will see
happy Halloween.
soon.
Bye.
Peace and love, y'all. Until next time.